All of us go through good seasons in life and bad seasons in life, don't we? Ecclesiastes tells us in 3:1, to everything there is a season. I don't know what you're going through today, but I'd like to talk about seasons in our life in your morning cup of inspiration. Thanks for joining me. If it's a bad season, I always remind myself that this too shall pass. And it always does, doesn't it? But you may be going through something today that you're trying to sort through. Why am I doing this day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year? Let me encourage you with the story of David. And I was reminded of it because I came to a verse in a psalm in my Bible reading yesterday that just reminded me of his journey and his story. Listen to what it says in Psalms, the 78th chapter, 70 through 72. And it says, he chose David his servant and took him from the sheep pens. You remember he was a shepherd. From tending the sheep, he brought him to be the shepherd of his people Jacob, of Israel, his inheritance. And David shepherded them with integrity of heart. With skillful hands, he led them. Is there any better story to go from being a shepherd day in and day out, basically forgotten by your family? If you'll remember when Samuel came to anoint the king, he knew it was in Jesse's household, but everybody forgot about David. That was just the shepherd boy. That was a season in David's life. And during that time, David was the best shepherd David could be. And the Bible tells us he killed bears. He killed lions to protect his sheep. God was planning that process all along. And that time of shepherding out in the wilderness was giving him the skill set to be the king of Israel. And this scripture is so great, so encouraging to me that it tells us that he did it with integrity of heart and skillful hands. What he learned out in the fields, he used to be one of the greatest kings of Israel. So, what you're going through right now, what season in your life, don't lose sight that it doesn't have a purpose. Don't lose sight that it's a stepping stone to where God is taking you. If it's a bad time, this too shall pass. He has great plans for your life. He wants you to prosper, but you have to keep the right mindset, the right perspective, and the right motive, that everything you're doing is to please the Lord. I pray that encourages you. Hey, thanks for joining me for that morning cup of inspiration, and we'll see you next time.